Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you are new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an update. This is gonna blow your mind. The South China Sea is the stage for a slow-burning geopolitical contest, where the currents of history and ambition collide beneath the surface. This vast expanse of water, stretching over 3.5 million square kilometers, is more than just a body of water. It's a crossroads of commerce, culture, and conflict. Once a vital trade route and source of life for countless coastal communities, the South China Sea has always been a lifeline for the region. Today, it remains one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, carrying trillions of dollars in goods each year. But now, it's also a flashpoint between China and its neighbors, especially the Philippines, as old rivalries and new ambitions converge. China claims nearly the entire sea, drawing its infamous 9-dash line and asserting control over islands, reefs, and waters that others also call their own. This sweeping claim creates friction and uncertainty for countries that depend on these waters for food, trade, and security. Into this tense standoff steps the European Union. Traditionally focused on its own continent, the EU is now looking eastward, recognizing that what happens in the South China Sea can affect the entire world, including Europe's own interests. The EU sees the South China Sea as a crucial test of the global order, a place where freedom of navigation, international law, and the principles of peaceful coexistence are all at stake. The outcome here could set a precedent for how disputes are resolved elsewhere. Rather than resorting to military intervention, the EU brings a different approach. It offers diplomacy, economic aid, and steadfast support for legal principles, hoping to build trust and stability through dialogue and cooperation. On the ground, the EU is helping the Philippines monitor its waters, providing technology, training, and expertise. In international forums, it stands up for the rules-based order, defending the idea that disputes should be settled by law, not force. This partnership is more than just a regional alliance. It's a test case for how middle powers and international blocs can push back against the ambitions of superpowers and shape a more balanced world. For the Philippines, the stakes are deeply personal. It's about sovereignty, livelihood, and survival. For China, it's about projecting power and securing territory. The clash of these interests makes the South China Sea a powder keg. The EU's involvement is about more than just politics. It's about defending the international laws and norms that protect all nations, big or small, from coercion and conflict. Around the globe, people are watching closely. Will the future of the South China Sea be shaped by the rule of law, or by the might of the strongest? The answer will echo far beyond Asia. The stakes are high, and the outcome will ripple far beyond these waters, influencing global trade, security, and the balance of power for years to come. The partnership between the Philippines and the EU could become a blueprint for new alliances, and may even redefine the way global politics is conducted in the 21st century. Let's explore how this unlikely alliance is shaping the future of the South China Sea and what it means for the world at large. The South China Sea is more than just a body of water. It's a global superhighway, connecting continents and economies. Every day, thousands of ships crisscross these waters, making it one of the busiest maritime corridors on the planet. In fact, 1/3 of all world shipping passes through here, carrying vital resources like oil, electronics, and manufactured goods that keep the global economy running smoothly. The products we use daily, smartphones, cars, even food, often travel through this route before reaching us. Any disruption in these waters, whether from conflict or natural disaster, would send shockwaves through supply chains worldwide, leading to shortages, rising prices, and economic instability in countries far beyond Asia. Beneath the surface, the South China Sea holds vast reserves of oil and natural gas, resources that are increasingly important as global energy demands rise. Its waters are also rich fishing grounds, providing food and livelihoods for millions of people in Southeast Asia and beyond. For many coastal communities, these fisheries are a lifeline. Control of the South China Sea means not just access to resources, but also military and economic power across Asia. Whoever dominates these waters can influence trade, security, and regional stability. That's why the United States maintains a strong naval presence here, working to ensure these vital sea lanes remain open and free for all nations. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, invalidating most of China's sweeping claims over the sea. This landmark decision was meant to uphold international law, and protect the rights of smaller nations. The dispute is about more than territory. It's a test of whether international law will be respected and whether powerful countries can be held accountable for their actions. If powerful nations ignore legal rulings, the entire system that protects smaller states and maintains global order is at risk of unraveling. The South China Sea has become a stage for great power competition and a test for the future of global order and cooperation. What happens here doesn't just affect the region, it matters everywhere, shaping the world we all share. China's claim to nearly 90% of the South China Sea is rooted in history, but not recognized by modern law. To enforce its claims, China has built artificial islands, militarized them, and deployed missiles and aircraft. Its gray zone tactics use Coast Guard and maritime militia to intimidate neighbors without open conflict. Filipino fishermen are driven from their waters. Philippine vessels are harassed and blocked. China's goal: establish de facto control and send a message of dominance to the region and the world. These actions challenge the post-Woodwind order and test the resolve of other nations. The strategy is calculated, coercive, but just below the threshold of war. The world must decide how to respond to this bold assertion of power. The South China Sea is where China is redrawing the rules. The stakes could not be higher. For the Philippines, the South China Sea, what it calls the West Philippine Sea, is not just a body of water, but a matter of national identity, pride, and survival. These waters have shaped the lives and livelihoods of generations and remain deeply woven into the country's sense of self. These waters are within its exclusive economic zone, making them vital for the nation's food security, fishing industry, and the promise of future energy resources. For countless Filipino families, the sea is their main source of income and sustenance, but China's growing presence and encroachment are seen as a direct threat to the Philippines' sovereignty and way of life, challenging its rights over these crucial waters. In response, the Philippines took a bold step on the world stage, filing a case at The Hague and ultimately winning a landmark 2016 tribunal ruling that invalidated China's sweeping claim. While China continues to reject the ruling, the decision gives the Philippines strong international legal backing and moral support from the global community. Manila is also investing heavily in its Coast Guard and military, increasing patrols, upgrading equipment, and promoting transparency to assert its presence and protect its people. Journalists now play a crucial role, documenting China's aggressive actions and bringing global attention to the daily struggles faced by Filipino fishermen and the nation's defenders. Despite these efforts, the Philippines faces a daunting power imbalance at sea, with its smaller vessels often dwarfed by China's massive ships. Its military remains outmatched, and its fishermen still face frequent harassment, intimidation, and even danger as they try to make a living. To level the playing field, the Philippines is strengthening alliances, not only with the United States, but increasingly with the European Union and other like-minded nations. This collective support, through joint exercises and diplomatic backing, is now seen as its best hope for defending its rights and deterring further aggression. In the face of overwhelming odds, the search for partners and allies is not just a diplomatic move, it is a strategy for survival and a testament to the nation's enduring resolve. The EU's involvement in the South China Sea is driven by principle, not territorial ambition. It champions the rules-based order, laws and treaties that keep peace and protect the weak. China's disregard for international rulings threatens this system, and the EU fears the precedent it sets. The EU's economic interests are also at stake. Much of its trade passes through these waters. Instability here would hurt Europe's economy. In 2021, the EU launched its Indo-Pacific strategy, pledging deeper engagement and cooperation with partners like the Philippines. The EU offers a partnership based on shared values, not just power politics. It's not about choosing sides in a US-China rivalry, but about defending global norms. The EU's presence gives the Philippines and the region more options. The EU-Philippines partnership is moving from words to action. Through the Crimario program, the EU is helping the Philippines boost maritime security and surveillance. Training, technology, and information sharing are strengthening the Philippine Coast Guard. High-level visits, like the 2023 trip by EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, signal strong diplomatic support. The EU is a major trading partner and investor, and talks for a free trade agreement are underway. Economic ties help the Philippines diversify and build resilience. European countries are also sending naval vessels to the region, demonstrating commitment to open seas. These actions reinforce the message: the South China Sea is a global concern. The partnership is practical, visible, and growing. It's a new model for international cooperation. The Philippines-EU partnership is shifting the balance in the South China Sea. It gives Manila more diplomatic leverage and flexibility beyond its US alliance. The EU's involvement internationalizes the dispute, making it harder for China to isolate its neighbors. By raising the issue in global forums, the EU reframes it as a challenge to international law, not just a territorial spat. The EU's support is comprehensive: diplomacy, law, trade, and development aid. This soft power approach builds long-term resilience for the Philippines. While the EU won't fight militarily, its backing raises the diplomatic cost for China's aggression. China now faces condemnation from a major economic bloc, not just a single country. The partnership adds a new layer of deterrence. It's a subtle but significant shift in the region's strategic dynamics. The world is watching how this alliance changes the game. The Philippines-EU partnership is a model for how smaller powers can uphold international law together. It offers a third way: coalitions based on principles, not just power. Security now means economic resilience, legal clarity, and strong partnerships, not just military might. For smaller states, this approach is a path to real influence. The South China Sea dispute makes the rules-based order tangible. It's about fishermen, resources, and national rights. The EU's support shows these rules matter and can be defended collectively. The outcome here will shape global governance. If law prevails, peace and stability are possible. If not, the world risks a return to might makes right. The Philippines and EU are standing up for a system that has kept the peace for decades. Their quiet resolve is a defense of the global order. As of late 2025, the South China Sea remains tense, and the EU-Philippines partnership is still evolving. Expect deeper cooperation, trade deals, joint maritime efforts, and more security funding. China may respond with more pressure or try to divide the coalition with economic incentives. Other regional players might follow the Philippines' lead, seeking similar partnerships with the EU or other powers. A broader coalition could increase diplomatic pressure on China to negotiate. The struggle here reflects a global contest: rules and shared sovereignty versus spheres of influence. The outcome is uncertain, but the Philippines' courage and the EU's support offer hope. Even against overwhelming power, diplomacy and partnership can make a difference. The South China Sea's future is still unwritten. The course set by this partnership could lead to calmer waters. The world is watching and learning.